Hello guys, welcome back to another video. So we're going to be working on my BMW 520d today with the N47 engine, of course. And we're going to be doing something that is, it is very simple and easy to do, but it's often overlooked by a lot of BMW owners. And this is going to be something that I would not recommend listening to BMW about. So I think without further ado, we'll get outside and let's get cracking. Okay then, so we have the 520d up in the air, and any guesses as to what we're going to be doing today? Any guesses? Yes, of course we are going to be doing an oil and filter change, and that is because it has been around 5,000 miles since the last oil change. And as you can see, the last oil change was on 129,953, and if you take a look at our current mileage, we are currently on 134,282. So yeah, we are ready for an oil and filter change. As you can see, I like to do an oil and filter change every 5,000 miles or every 6 months. As you can see, this is when I first serviced it, 121,000 miles, or oil and filter change. Next one was 124,000 miles. Again, next one 129,000 miles, and the next one 134,000 miles. So it's every 6 months or every 5,000 miles for me. And I know what you're thinking, but BMW recommend oil changes every 18,000 miles on these engines. Yes, they do, but that is how you have premature engine failure, timing chain failures and all the rest of it. So yeah, honestly, please, if you have an N47 engine, change your oil every 5,000 miles maximum. Oil and oil filters are not expensive. To rebuild an engine, that is expensive. So please just do regular oil changes. Now let's get cracking. Okay, so first thing is, you want to make sure that your engine is as hot as possible. Now I have just taken this for a good drive and the engine is nice and warm. Obviously a warmer engine means thinner oil, it means it's going to drain a lot easier. So with that done, we can now remove the engine cover. Okay then, so let's start on the oil filter, because we do have some excess oil in here. Once we remove this, the oil will then drain back down into the sump. So let's crack this loose. Oh, by the way, it helps if you have one of these handy tools. So if you don't have one, I will put a link in the description box below. Shouldn't be tight, should only be 25 Newton meters. You don't want to remove the oil filter straight away. You want to leave it for a minute, let all the oil drain out of it before you attempt to remove it, otherwise you're going to have an oily mess all over your engine. But now that we've left it a minute or so, it should have finished draining, so we will lift up the oil filter cap itself. As you can see, we have some smoke coming off it because it is very hot. Just to one side. Okay, so we will remove the oil filter itself from the oil filter housing cap. Just clipped in, so it should just pull out. There we are. Just going to give the oil filter housing itself a quick wipe out, just in case there is any debris in there. There shouldn't be, because like I said, regular oil changes, but it's good to give it a wipe out anyway. Now we can remove the O-ring on the oil filter housing cap. Choose a pick tool. There we are, we have a new one of those. Give the cap itself a clean up. Now if we get our new oil filter, should have an O-ring and a new crush washer in here. It's the oil filter itself. Yep, new O-ring and crush washer. That is for the drain plug. We will install the new O-ring. I'm just going to dip it in some oil first. Just makes it a better seal and means it doesn't pinch as easy. Install this in the correct location. There is only one place this can go, by the way. Make sure you don't put it in the wrong slot. It's not the one that it's in now, it's the one after it. So a lot of people think that that is okay like that. No, it's not. It's the next one down. There we are. And now we can get our new oil filter and then push it into the oil filter housing cap. Make sure it's seated correctly. And then if we lower this down into the oil filter housing itself, as you can see we have a notch on here that needs to drop into the respective hole. We're now going to head underneath the car because it is time to start draining the oil. Okay, so the first thing I need to do is just remove this cover. Should be held in by 3 8mm screws, or 2 in our case. And now we can crack the 17mm drain plug loose. It should not be tight. Again, 25 Newton meters. Yeah. And the goal is to try and get as much oil down your arm as possible. Okay, thumbs away. And to help that drain a little bit easier, if you remove the oil filler cap and the dipstick, and it should drain that little bit easier. And now we can prepare the drain plug for reinstallation. So we remove the original crush washer. It's a good idea to change the drain plugs every once in a while. I think I changed it on the last oil change because yeah, these things do not last forever, and you will end up rounding them every once in a while. We'll get our new crush washer, just drop it on, and that is ready for reinstallation now. So as you can see, it has pretty much completely drained now, so I'm just going to reinstall the drain plug. And now it can be torqued down to 25 Newton meters. Perfect. And now I'll just give things a clean down with some brake cleaner. Okay, so it's now time to start filling the oil back up, and the M47 engine should hold around 5.5 litres. So I'm going to put 5 litres in, and then we will check the dipstick. You can tell it's a hot day because this stuff is flowing like water. Okay then, let's check the dipstick. It looks like we may be at the maximum. Yep, right at the maximum, which is good. Obviously the car is still up in the air, and you need to check the oil level when the car is down on the ground, but I'm happy that we have enough oil in here to start it. Now the oil filter housing itself is completely dry, so chances are we're going to have to add a little bit more once we have fired it up. But yeah, without further ado, let's get this thing fired up. Before we get it back on the ground, let's just make sure we don't have any leaks. Good. Now with the car back on the ground, you need to check the oil level again, which I have already done so, and I had to add just less than half a litre. So we are bang on the maximum now. And now what's left to do is fill out the service history and then update the service interval on the iDrive. There we are. Okay then guys, so that is another oil change done on the BMW 520d, and I've done quite a few M47 oil changes now on this channel. But you know, if you don't take away anything new from these types of videos, then please do use it as a friendly reminder to keep on top of your oil changes. Like I said, regular oil changes are critical for this engine. If you want them to last a long time, you need to do regular oil changes. Do not listen to what BMW recommend. But yeah, that's about it anyway. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Please give it a like, leave a comment down below, subscribe if you have not already done so, and I will see you all in that next one. Peace.